I don't care what these people are saying about nicotine being bad. They're a bunch of propagandists in my eyes. But anyways, let's fucking go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think I'm a boomer. I think I'm a zoomer. I think I'm a doomer. Damn, I'm Mike the Zoomer. Okay. EWGWHITE coming with the heat.
I stay fooling with my
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the world dedicated to radical centrism. I am your host, Orion. Not joining me today, at least right now, is Micah, because he's too busy doing real world stuff and touching grass. Oh, how cool is he? But we do have a very special guest. A very special guest who's been up to some dastardly deeds. We got Marco in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, it's 2 a.m. in Bongland right now, but I'm making an effort to be here, confess to my latest tomfoolery, own up to my crimes.
Exactly. You know, you're not afraid to sit down and have a candid interview with a journalist willing to ask the hard-hitting questions. You know, asking just exactly what the hell you've been up to. And to enlighten our viewers as to the immense stature of our esteemed guest here today. Our friend Marco showed up to a trans versus TERF protest in Scotland, and a part of this trans versus TERF protest was the furry contingent, the furry battalion. And so Marco here decides, I can get a fursuit head. I can show up and show my support for valid trans women. And so that's exactly what he did. Now, I want to ask you, Marco, what exactly was this event that you went to? You know, what was the impetus for it? What's the lead up to it? Give us some context there, bud.
All right, yeah, no worries. So recently there's been some sort of, as you know, as they like to call it, TERF Island. There's been a lot of pro-trans versus anti-trans groups been going at it, especially in Scotland, where the Scottish government tried to pass some self-ID laws, and then the UK government basically cut them and said, no, we're throwing that out. We're not letting you do that, which started a big whole thing, especially in Scotland. So what happened was a bunch of TERFs, or the radical feminists of the UK that really aren't a fan of trans people. They don't think trans lives matter at all. They wanted to stage like a big protest for, we want to stick up for women, and womanly women, not like neo-women. But
Right.
but of course, like the trans crowd weren't happy at all about this. They wanted to stage their own counter-protest, and they called it a cabaret against the hate speech. And that was for like people to turn up wearing rainbow flags, waving trans flags. But here's where the story gets interesting, because while this is all going on, there's also a furry convention happening just about a mile away, and
the plot thickens.
And then the pro-trans crowd then thinks, furries are quite a progressive, queer-focused community. Maybe we can get all the furries to come in and join us and help protest with us. So you've got like these two opposing sides now coming together. You've got the pro-trans, and then you've got the pro-TERFs, and then you've got the furries like right a mile away. So it's like it's all coming to a head. It's all like sort of leading up to this big battle happening in Scotland. And I'm only about 3 hours away by train, so I'm thinking I could totally show up to this. Maybe get some like little do some on the ground journalism and report back for our drama.
You know, I'm really glad that you did that, and I think that the trans activists really did a brave and, you know what, big brain move. I'll put it out there. They did a big brain move bringing the furries in, because to me, it's like you go to a sports game, and who hypes you up? Who gets you really in the zone? It's the mascot. They run out there in their fursuits, and that's somehow socially acceptable, but it's not acceptable if you're at a trans protest. It's something that's supposed to be denigrated on, you know, it's to be spit upon, to be looked down on. I don't think so. And so, as an on-the-ground reporter, you took some pictures, you know, you documented the event, and you went ahead and sent some of those to me, and I'd like to review those with you and, you know, ask you some further questions about that. So we'll start off with the first one you sent me here, where It's you. You're wearing the rainbow flag like a Marvel superhero cape. Very cool.
I did feel like a superhero at the time, standing
Oh
up for
man,
our
you look
rights.
you look like a superhero. We got this fox head here. Now you say that you rented this fox head. How does that work? I'm kind of lost and confused there.
Well, it's a funny story actually because through a friend of a friend, I sort of knew someone that was going to the convention because I've whereas I don't really associate with their community, I do have a few contacts, like a few journalists in the furry community who were able to sort of connect me to someone who had for some reason, I don't actually know why, but someone brought two heads to like the convention. I guess they wanted to bring a spare one in case the other one got too covered in bodily fluids or something.
Ugh.
Well, I can only guess.
And what's the going price for a rental for one of these?
He let me borrow it for about I think it was £20. It wasn't that much at all. I guess it wasn't that much of a bother for him. So I just
Right,
said, yeah.
he's profiting. He's happy with it. You know, these things cost a lot of money, so I'm glad you were able to get that. And yeah, in this picture, there's this Trans Lives Matter sign that you have here, and then you have the Marcy's there. Now, for those who aren't in the know, that is the groomer Marcy. And so you went ahead and handed these signs out to other protesters. Am I correct in saying that?
We mostly brought the post. We brought a few. We brought some of the posters to sort of just get some photo ops and get some pictures of us supporting Trans Lives Matter at the event. I don't think it's. I think the official name of that Marcy is Marcy Plushie or Trans Plushie. I don't quite understand it, but there is a good reason why we picked that Marcy, and you'll see if you go onto Google Images and you search up trans cartoon cat, it's one of the first results to pop up. So
There we go.
it could easily be seen as just a coincidence if it was questioned. But it looked like you could easily see someone accidentally doing that if they didn't know what it meant.
So how did the fursuit head smell inside? Like, I've always wondered that. Like, does it feel like stuffy and boxy, like when you're wearing a mask, or like I imagine it smells better than whatever these protesters smelled like. But that's just a personal thing I wanted to know.
Well, it actually did. It was quite stuffy. It was like a COVID mask almost, but just much heavier. I think the guy made an attempt to wash it first before handing it off, which I really appreciate that him doing that because I don't really want to imagine what it was like before.
That's like borrowing a condom from your friend.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
a used condom. So I want to know, what were your impressions of the protesters? Generally, I find protesters of any cause to be, bottom of the barrel, dysgenic, dead end freaks. Do you match that perspective after going to this event?
Well, when we attended, it wasn't just me. It was a couple of Java users. We went as a sort of group, and we had a little meetup at the time as well. So it was because it was two protests happening simultaneously. The cops had actually cordoned off them into like two separate parts of the area where there was like
So
this sort of.
dramaphobic.
I know there was like this no man's land in between them where nobody was allowed to go, and that's mostly where we hung out because we were like taking the radical centrist position. We were like neutral observers in this crowd. We weren't taking any sides for or against really. We did bring the signs, but there was that subtle messaging to promote our drama.
It's
But
called dog whistling, cat whistling, really.
wolf whistling, or even I don't know. I don't know what animal it was. It looked like a blue wolf thing, I think, or a fox. Who
But
knows?
yeah. But
Yeah.
what were your impressions of the protesters?
I,
Like
I
when
would
you go there.
I would say both sides weren't sending their bests. On one side, you had furries, like not even like with really bootleg fursuits, like not even good ones, like ones that looked like they were made out of like I don't know their mom's carpet.
A Wish.com fursuits is what
Oh
you're saying. They're not
yeah,
they're not sending their best.
yeah, and then you've got all your typical like blue-haired people that well, I will give them benefit of the doubt. They were quite peaceful. They seemed like they were also having a lot of fun. A couple of them did get a little bit violent, and there's some Twitter clips on that, but we didn't really see that. Unfortunately, that must have happened after we already left. But on the other side, you had these, they seemed like very quite angry, middle-aged feminist women, and the were all white women who just didn't seem to, even when like we went to them as neutral observers, and they were just like glaring at us, and they clearly didn't like the fact that a penis owner had entered their presence, I guess you could say.
Right, because, they're fat. They're all fat, right? Like, all those chicks were fat.
In Bongland, it's mostly really like skinny, like kind of ugly looking women. If you get what I mean, it's like a different crowd.
Right, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I have some other pictures for us to look at too that you sent me. This first one is of the trans side protesting. And, what's strange to me is, like, especially as an American, when you think of a British person, you think of them all made up, they have their posh wig on, they're like, oh, yeah. And that's what the British and Scottish are the same to me. I'm an American, so I'm just going to run with that. This is what these people look like. This is what they look like. Take that in. If you go to a protest, this is you. Not you. You're an impartial observer, but if you're some wingcuck out there to scream your message, this is what you're associating yourself with. It truly is disgusting. These people are dysgenic, dead end freaks.
Yeah, especially like someone brought up in the comments to one of the threads about it recently, and they brought up the point: if you're bringing like furries to your like side of the protest, that's like a great way to make sure nobody else wants to agree with you or stand with you. And I think that's sort of another example of that.
Right, because these people, the reason they invited them is because they know they need bottom dwellers to help them spread their message. Any normal person wouldn't be caught dead going to one of these protests, not as an impartial observer, but, as an active participant. They wouldn't be caught dead doing that. So they had to call upon their furry battalion for backup because that's the best they have. How sad is that? We have another picture here. A woman, I assume, holding a Trans Lives Matter sign that you distributed to them with the groomer Marcy there. And again, you look at these people, you think to yourself, that's the best you have to offer? That's the best that they can send out to fight for their cause?
I mean, they were quite happy to take our signs after we left them around the area, like just around the scene, because a lot of them didn't show up with any signs. So I guess they were just happy to like take the free holdouts that were given out.
What's funny is, like, if you're a protester, you have one fucking job, and it's to bring a sign. That's all you have to do. Just bring a sign and be a brain dead zombie screaming about shit no one cares about, and they can't even do that. It's really interesting to me. So we also have, you mentioned earlier that there was an attack. Some a little bit of a scuffle, and I actually found a clip of this. I wanted to watch it with you and get some of your thoughts on the matter as well, because I have some thoughts about it. We'll go ahead and play that now. Attack of the train. Oh shit, we're gonna get flagged. I can't show this. This woman's showing her boobs. This totally real woman is showing her totally real boobs. And the person in the carriage or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, the TERF tricycle.
The TERF tricycle. I like that name. Perfect. The person in the TERF tricycle had a sign that said, "Stop the lies, trans women are guys." And, a lot of people dogpiling on the brave trans woman for getting so upset there. But I understand that trans person's plight, because look, imagine the following situation, the following scenario. Imagine you're in the UK and some boneheaded broad is telling you you're not a real woman. And you look at them, and these Angloid broads, they have buck teeth, disgusting voices, horrible attitudes. Like, if I was trans in the UK, I'd also believe that I had a valid claim to womanhood. All you have to do to be a woman in the UK is be disgusting, ugly, and repugnant.
Honestly,
those are the qualifications.
Honestly, it makes so much sense why the UK has so many TERFs. It's because they can't even pass as well as trans women.
True that, brother. And,
Yeah.
so I understand their plight. They look at those broads and they're like, really? You get to be a woman and I don't? What's the difference between us, really? We're both disgusting and gross people. So I have another protest video too, because as I said earlier, I find them to be protesters. That is the lowest form of life on the planet, and I don't just want to show leftoid tranny cringe. I want to show some rightoids being cringe as well in the name of fair balance.
Yeah,
Fair
for
and
sure.
balanced.
It was two opposing sides after all, and both sides were equally cringe.
Exactly. See, you get it.
Yeah,
That's why you're such a good journalist, because you understand that both of these people, both of these sides, they're beneath you and should be ground in the dirt. So this video that I'm going to show, it happened in Hollywood. This was a Hollywood protest, a Save Our Kids protest. I'll go ahead and pull that up now.
Save our children!
So these are the protesters here. Do you see these people? Again, dead and dysgenic freaks. Look at this guy. He looks like a fucking hippopotamus. It's preposterous. And you kind of gotta want. You know what? I'll save it till after the video. Let's keep going here.
Are you a groomer? Are you a groomer? Are you a groomer? Come on, she ain't working. She's gonna get violent with you. Are you a groomer?
Get the fuck out! Stop shooting our fucking children! Start using the children!
oh dear, oh dear.
Fucking A, man. We're gonna save our kids by harassing a fat woman at a farmer's market. There's like hippies walking around in the back like, oh man, that's bad vibes, bro. Like, do you know why? This is what really like gets to me about these like, oh, we need to save our kids, they're all being groomed people. Do you know why your kids are able to be groomed? They look at their parents, they look at these people, and they think to themselves, dear Lord, I'd rather cut off my dick than end up like this. Like what other option do they have when they look into a crystal ball? They can see the future. All they can see is being a fat, retarded rightoid if they follow their parents' path. That's all that they can get out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one thing. It's bad enough having like real opinions on things, but when you actually have to go like get off your fat ass and start forcing that opinion on other people as well, that's just beyond the line.
Right. It really goes to show, because these people collectivize on the internet, right? They get themselves together and they think to themselves, wow, I can make a difference. Look at all these people who agree with me. We can fight for a cause. And then they meet up in real life, and this happens to both sides. They all end up being fat retards screaming impotently at some other fat retard. That's the sum of their actions.
They just don't know how to have fun. They have to take everything so seriously, and you can just tell that they're constantly angry and bitter because of these like ideologies that they've subscribed to, because it's the only thing that gives them like motivation to live. It's these stupid internet arguments and belonging to like their own little club of like-minded idiots.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what ideology it is. It can be leftoid, it can be rightoid. They're all the same.
Literally the exact same. That's true. And that's the sum of the game, right? Like, they have these opinions, they go out, they try and express them, and they end up embarrassing themselves and everybody involved in these incidents. That is the sum of every IRL protest that's happened in the last, 10 years? Probably since Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, like, I think that was.
If you want to go out,
yeah.
If you want to go out and tell people how to live their lives and how things should be, here's step one: be respectable. Be somebody who somebody wants to listen to rather than make fun of. But these people are incapable of that.
I'd say step one is lose weight and take a shower, but even that's a bit too much of a leap for the vast majority of them.
Ooh, that's a big ask there, bud. That's a big ask, and it's not one that I'm sure that they can take on. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up this segment of the show. I know you got to get to bed, being in Bongland and all. So
I know it's suffering.
So yeah. Thank you for giving us your time here today.
Glad to be here.
Hey, glad to have you, man. You have anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to I just want to just specify to everyone, I know I wore a fursuit head to a furry rally. I just want to specify that does not make me a furry. And another thing I just wanted to get that out of the way because there are some rumours circulating around there. And I just wanted to put them to bed. Also wanted to shout out my good friend Zedri, great artist, does a lot of interesting work, and I'm sure he'll be happy to hear this. And that's just about me, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to tell your friend that he's about to be replaced by computers, but hopefully he can squeeze some blood out of the orange, out of the stone before it, before it becomes impossible.
It's pretty over for art cells.
It's over for art cells. And so, yeah, thank you for coming on. We'll continue with the rest of the show.
5 minutes later.
And we are back. We are back, my grillers. We have Micah on the line here now. He's done touching grass.
Done touching grass and ass.
And we'll go ahead. We'll continue the normal show.
Yeah.
We appreciate our last guest coming on, giving us the nitty gritty, the real details of what's going on in these protests. But speaking of these the trans protesting, the trans issues that they're so important that we talk about them all the time and think about them all the time and really dedicate our lives to sneaking about it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game that just came out, stirring up massive controversy. So this game, it comes out, and a lot of people very upset.
Yeah, I heard that. I am really upset. I heard that you can't play Quidditch in the game. There's no Quidditch mode in this Harry Potter open world RPG. And quite frankly, I might have to get a return on my pre-order. I was expecting to be able to go out and fly around and catch the golden snitch or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I think you're right in that. And I'm sure that that'll be paid DLC later down the line. So you just hold your horses there, buddy. The free market will provide.
It better.
You have very valid criticisms, but there's a lot of people that don't. On one side, you have the online trans people shitting their pants about, oh, you can't just go and support a transphobe. And on the other, you have rightoids running to the ATM to give TERF mommy all their money. Like, literally all the money in their bank account. These people are poor. They're stupid. Like 10 hours worth of their minimum wage labor they're giving to TERF mommy to own the libs. And what I find funny about this is, aren't these the same people that, like, back in 2015, when the Harry Potter libs would quote Dumbledore or whatever the fuck, talking about how it's okay to be yourself, they'd be like, oh, read another book, libtard. All libs read is Harry Potter. Grow up. And how about this? You're playing a fucking child's video game. How about you grow the fuck up?
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing to consider is, and this again, it's the wingcuck blinders that people have on, is I don't think, of course I considered it because I'm a base radical centrist and I'm not buying the game because of political ideology. I'm buying the game because I'm a nerd and I like RPGs. But none of these rightoids who are sinking their money into this game and pre-ordering it to own the libs, I doubt any one of them is aware that there's actually a transgender character in the game. What are they going to do when they get what are they going to do when and you know what? I bet you it's probably content that's so far into the game that they're going to realize it past the point where they can get a refund from the online store. Yeah.
Well, because these people got psyoped into buying it. Like, it was a marketing campaign. They're like, oh, you could totally own the libs by buying our corporate product. And at the end of the day, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I just really think these people need to grow the fuck up. These gamer enthusiasts. Like, you want to level up? Boy, go get a side hustle, Invest your money. You want to gain XP, loser? How about you go lift some fucking weights?
Yeah.
Your strength, it just went up by 10 points. Look at that. You can do this in real life, people. That will own the libs. And these are people who like to complain about, like, oh, armchair activism. They just go on Twitter and they're armchair activists. And then they go and buy a video.
At the end, at the very least, they could go out and write their own fantasy-based novel that becomes adored by millions and then, turn around and undermine trans people in public.
Yeah.
Like, that would be real activism,
If they're really committed to the grind set, they would do exactly that, but they can't. They're illiterate. They probably won't even be able to get past the tutorial.
Ugh. They're ugh brains.
They're UGG brand. Look, these riotoids, they're currently celebrating because the Hogwarts Legacy game, it's the most watched single-player game in Twitch history, with over 1.3 million concurrent viewers.
Wow.
Now, they see this, they take this, and they say, this is a win. This is proof that we're superior in our gay little culture war. This is proof that the tide is finally turning. That the trans genocide is going to happen any day. But what they don't understand is that they had very little effect on sales.
They also have very little effect on the rate of transgender suicide. Like they're not turning the dial one way or the other on that, much to their chagrin. But
they'd like to think they are, but
yeah,
I think there's some other factors at play there.
Yeah,
People buy this game not because healthy, normal people, I want to say, not the 10,000 people on each side who've collectivized into these rage bait groups in which they're constantly angry and shitting their pants and embarrassing themselves. Normal people buy this game because they have nothing fucking better else to do. They hear open world game and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I read that book as a kid. Sure, I'll play it. I like open world RPGs. They don't know or care about ethics in Harry Potter gaming because they're normal fucking people.
Yeah, it's like I said, that's my I don't even know like any Harry Potter lore like whatsoever. I don't know anything about it. Some people just like to play game. I just like to play game.
Well, you were talking about Quidditch and snitches, and so I think you're burying the lead a little bit there, buddy. If I'm going to be honest. That's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. If you know about this stuff, you feign ignorance. Oh, I don't know anything about this. I'm a normal person.
I mean, yeah, I watched.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've seen the movies, Orion. What do you want from me? But I don't know the characters other than like the main three. You know what I'm saying.
I get what you're getting at, bud. I get what you're getting at.
This doesn't need to be about me. You don't have to turn this into an attack against me, okay? I'm not the enemy.
I wasn't attacking you. I was telling you that was the right thing to do. That is objectively the correct thing to do, is to feign ignorance.
Well, thank you.
That nerd culture. That's what nerds did for the longest time. They said to themselves, "Oh, I wanna fuck someday. I wanna get pussy someday."
Watch as he recoils when you call him a Harry Potter fan. I'm
going to pretend I'm a normal person and then spring it on the woman 6 months after a relationship starts, and they have no way out.
Yeah.
After I've psychologically buck-broken them into accepting anything I do. That's the correct way to go about things.
All right,
so
honey.
Please don't think
now it's time. It's time for me to show you something. Pulls out Bionicle collection. I know this is a lot to take in right now.
Based.
Anyway.
Bionicles were based.
Yeah.
To finish this segment out, probably like 10,000 or so rightoids. They were psyoped into buying a children's video game that they otherwise wouldn't have gotten because they want to vote with their wallets, because they think that this is an effective way to control society as consuming products.
We've talked about this before, where like everything involved in capitalism is just becoming a political psyop, and it's fucking insane.
And I actually have a source to back up this claim as well.
Source?
I went and I found the Redditors and their reaction to this. I'll just go ahead and show a picture of it. Right. He explains the consumer mindset better than I ever could. So Outcast Band says, "I bought it to not even play it. Gotta support free speech. Vote with your wallets, people."
Oh my god, look at all the down dudes.
50 down dudes. He's even the other Redditors recognize how cringe this is.
That's bad. That's really bad.
A response from Redditor, the male G-Spot, gross, says, "That's just so fucking weird. Like, I bought it to play it and disagree with her, but clearly didn't let it affect my spending."
Based.
Yeah, that's what a normal person would do. Like, oh, that person, I disagree with them on a thing, but I'm still going to consume what I want because I'm an American. Because I am allowed to consume the things I want to, and I can just write it off by saying all consumption under capitalism bad. I can excuse my consumption habits. But I'm good because I'm willing to say that I disagree.
Yeah.
That's the American way. That's our ethos.
Yeah.
An Outcast Band response says, I support businesses that I agree with. I'm sure you do the same. Honestly, why would you care where I spend my money? This is how smooth-brained these people are.
Yeah,
He's
he
never
didn't
gonna
say
play
that.
the
He
game.
didn't say that. He didn't say he cares how he's like. He doesn't care. He's just saying it's weird.
Yeah.
Like it's not even necessarily like weird that you do that, but weird that you go online and bring it up for other people and try to like bring them into your way of thinking, like acting like that's normal. Like, come on, guys, this is normal. Like, this is what we should be doing, right?
This guy, he literally thinks that buying this Harry Potter game, he's like, I did my part. I'm doing my part to change society. Sorry, trannies. Like, he thinks that he's somehow won out of this. And all he's done is supported a big corporation that's going to put him in a pod and kill him someday. That's it. He's a fucking meat sack. He's nothing but the resources that he can be extracted from.
This is somebody. This is somebody who would watch like one of the fucking Daily Wire produced movies and think to themselves, "I just really accomplished something here." I just
take that, Hollywood. Take that, libs. I just watched a horrible movie and wasted my time to own the libs.
Yeah.
But, sometimes the libs own back. Sometimes the libs hit back and they win. Like our boy, Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden recently did his State of the Union. And I'm going to be honest with you, my gorillas. I didn't watch much of it. State of the Unions, they sicken me to my core.
It's one of the most wing-cucked events that happen every year. Every
year they're the exact same thing. It's like all of these geezers performatively stand up and clap. Oh, that's a heckin' based one, Biterino. Good job. Or they show their disapproval.
Yeah.
They're scowling with their arms crossed. Oh, I didn't like that. I hated
the
that.
analytics of every State of the it's so gay. It's the discussions about every State of the Union is so gay. It's just like and notice here how this particular member of this party actually did decide to stand and clap for this statement, and that really shows that there could be conflict going. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck cares?
Literally, the people who analyze these things, they should they should delete their Minecraft server, is what they should do. They should delete their Minecraft server, remove themselves from the gene pool. Like, when I watch these things, it really drives home the fact that I hate all of these people with all of my heart, that I have zero representation as a radical centrist. When I look out into that crowd of fucking geezers, of old boomer faggots, I just think to myself, wow, can someone please drop a nuke on this place?
One of the points that was being made that I thought was funny was like people were pointing out how like Republicans were more disrespectful because they were being vocal, and it's like, is it really that much of a like difference? Like, if you're when Nancy Pelosi was disrespectful to Trump by like ripping his speech up behind him, well, she was being disrespectful respectfully because she wasn't making a ruckus. She wasn't being loud about it. It's like,
that's girl really bossing.
Yeah, that too. But the point is like, what if these people were just like not like acting like children in general? Like, why does it?
Well, that's a big ask. It's really amazing to watch a bunch of 80-year-olds act like they're 5. It's really amazing, and they do it every year.
Yeah.
And, I actually did pull a clip of exactly the scenario you described. Biden does a bit of a dab on the rightoids, like he often does. This is something that's in his blood. It's who he is. He just can't stop dabbing. And I'll go ahead and play a clip of that for everyone here today.
Some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plans. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. That means Congress doesn't vote. Well, I'm glad to see you. No, I tell you, I enjoy conversion. It means if Congress doesn't keep the programs the way they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant, but it's being proposed by individuals. I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you. Look, folks, the idea is that we're not going to be moved into being threatened to default on the debt if we don't respond, folks.
And so, there's this big kerfuffle, the Social Security and Medicare scare.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They're gonna take it away. They're gonna take it away. I really fucking wish they had the balls to do that. Anyone. I hate Social Security and Medicare. They're so popular. Every politician panders to this point because they hand a lifeline to your average American voter who is a loser, an old, washed up, geezer loser.
I feel
people
like
who are too dumb to make it in life and invest properly.
Every Republican there was just like listening to him say that, and as the thought of their constituents hearing those words leave his mouth, all their buttholes just clenched up. They're like,
they just start screaming.
No.
Because they know they're fucked if that idea gets implanted out there.
Yeah,
that's
the sacred cow. That's the sacred cow that they absolutely cannot. That is not something you say. It's like saying Voldemort's name. You can't do that. You're just not supposed to do that.
It's like going to an all-black neighborhood and yelling the N-word at the top of your lungs. So you just good luck with that. Like the old people will fucking ride their motorized scooters over your head on a curb if you take away their Social Security.
There's going to be a January 6th too, except it's for real this time.
Look, with Social Security and Medicare, because I'm a successful person, because I'm not a loser, because I have a retirement account, I could take that money out of my paychecks that's taken out without my consent, by the way, and put it into the market. But instead, I have to give it to old people who are too selfish to admit that they fucked up and, just go die in a hole somewhere. People are too selfish to be like, oh, I guess I didn't plan for this. I guess I'm just going to rope now. Why can't they do that? Like, mark my words, we will never, ever see a cent of our investment into Social Security and Medicare. It's going to go insolvent. It's going to go away. And it's boomers' last one fuck you. Their last fuck you before they meet God. Just on the way out, middle fingers up. Fuck you. Fuck your money.
Literally like mooning us at Heaven's Gate. Just like pants down, pointed at us. They let out a fat fart.
But it doesn't stop there because, at the core of our American democracy is filleting old people, filleting them, just really getting on our knees and giving them some sloppy toppy about how great they are, about how they've contributed so much, how we'd be nothing without them.
And it's all true, all very true.
And Biden goes on to do that even more somehow. He doesn't stop there. 2 minutes of him sucking old people's dicks. And he just doesn't, he hasn't had enough.
So tonight, let's all agree, and we apparently are, let's stand up for seniors.
That's what we need.
Stand up and show them. We will not cut Social Security. We will not cut Medicare. Those benefits belong to the American people. They earned it. And if anyone tries to cut Social Security, which apparently no one's going to do, and if anyone tries to cut Medicare, I'll stop them. I'll veto it. And look, I'm not going to allow them to be taken away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But apparently it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, stand up and salute our old people like they're fucking veterans.
Yeah. No, I'm really glad we have bipartisanship over propping up the most useless people in our country. That's great. It's great news. It's really reassuring.
Yeah. We have a bipartisan understanding that they deserve so much respect. You youngsters, you don't respect our elders. When a pet gets old, we have the respect for them to put them out of their fucking misery.
It's true.
We don't keep them on life support for 6 years.
Yeah.
We don't pop them up full of drugs.
It's the old adage of It's the old adage of, if you truly love something, sometimes you have to let it go. You just got to let it go. And, with Medicare and Social Security, that's not letting them go.
Exactly.
That's forcing them, to live a life of frugality, paycheck to paycheck or Medicare, it's not paycheck to paycheck, but, Social Security check. And, a lot of the times they're in it's a very sad state of affairs. So, you see these old curmudgeons miserable with their existence, aimless in life, often just gambling away their Social Security checks because they don't know what else to do with it. They don't know what else to do with it. They might give it away to their kids who no longer visit them, and their grandkids who the only time they hear from them is when they give them money, and it's
on their birthday.
On their birthday, yeah. And
Christmas.
I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty because I just that's just I'm sorry. It's your time to go. It's your
like this idea. We'll just forget about them and stick them away. Let homes make tens of thousands of dollars per year off each old person.
Really what it is.
That's not compassion.
This is something that they're also probably not going to tell you. This is something that they're not going to tell you, but I guarantee you there's a big lobby. There's a big lobby in Washington from the retirement home companies. The big retirement home. Big retirement home is lobbying hardcore for these old people to keep getting their benefits because that means more money in their pockets.
Right, in the medical industry.
Right, the medical industry.
Just the broader medical industry.
Assisted living.
Instead of assisted living, why don't we put them out of their misery, send them to Canada and get them some assisted suicide?
Very true. Very true.
No, but what we'll do is we'll just put them on fucking horrible machines and make them into godless cyborgs. Yeah. That's what we'll do. We'll make them into robots.
Yeah, we're going to put their brain in a jar. We're going to be like Futurama.
That's the compassionate way, according to these fucking people. I hate all of them so much.
It's not natural.
It's not natural. It's against God and his will. But the rightoids, they got dabbed on by Joe Biden here. They did. That's inarguable. It's just the truth of the matter. But they did manage to scrounge up a win at the State of the Union here. Let's watch Dementia Daddy Joe screw up a line. It'll prove once and for all he really does have dementia. Yeah, he stood up there and dabbed on them for an hour and a half, but he screwed up a line, and that's proof that he is infirm.
Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true. Something good must come from this. Something good.
Huh? Did you hear that?
And all of us.
Did you hear that there? He said Tyler instead of Tyre. The black kid that got beat up or killed by those 5 black cops. His name was Tyre, but he said Tyler.
He needs to be removed from office immediately.
Okay, who the fuck names their kid Tyre? Who does that to a kid? Why? Is it really so bad that he posthumously gave this kid a name that isn't retarded?
Yeah.
Is that the end of the world?
Yeah. Give him a break. It's he said what makes sense to him. Okay, and quite frankly, to the rest of people in America. Okay,
to anyone with a brain.
And a lot of people, they criticize Biden's, ability to, think quickly or, be all there. But I mean, his quick, you compare his quick-wittedness in dabbing on these Republicans, which he pulled that out fast. I mean, they started booing. He's like, oh, good, you're on my side. Great, let's move on then. You compare that to Trump, who, while he, which by the way, didn't even get a mention, didn't get a single mention from Biden, because he's not worth his time. He's not worth Biden's time. But he
got left on red.
Yeah, he got. But you compare what Biden did here, is his quick-wittedness, his cunning. And you compare that to what Trump did to dab on the Democrats, making them applaud over the course of an hour for various people of color who happen to be right-wing or supporters. And that was just like a slog, and it took forever. And it was kind of a dab, but it didn't hit the same way.
It does not hit like Joe Biden's dabs. And I've been thinking about Tyre a lot. We haven't covered that whole situation of 5 black cops killing that black guy. And it's because I take time to analyze these things. I take time to really think about it and analyze. I really think about it. I ponder it. I'm a very ponderous person. I do a lot of thinking and meditation. And through that, I was able to reach a breakthrough in racist science.
Okay.
Now, members of the racist community love using statistics to make bad faith arguments in the pursuit of denigrating marginalized communities. We can all agree on this.
Yeah.
Whether it's shouting 1352 or spurging out about IQ averages, it's a favorite pastime amongst the chuds to do this. And so, they've just been dabbed on by Joe Biden. So I present to them a gift. We all saw the horrific video of Tyler being killed by those 5 black cops. And that got my noggin jogging. Of all the police killings, particularly against black people, how many of them are perpetrated by black cops?
Oh, do you have a source? Do you have data on this?
Has anyone ever asked this? Has anyone in the racism community been so brave as to try and figure this out? Now, I'll say...
I couldn't say, but I feel like the results may be shocking.
The results may be shocking indeed, my friend, because I dived deep to look for the data, and I wasn't able to find too much. The woke mobberino is gatekeeping the facts and logic from experts in the scientific racism field. This is a conspiracy amongst the academics to denigrate their very important work.
Are you saying it's impossible to find information regarding the ethnicity of police officers who are involved in shootings?
Yes, nearly so. But I did some deep diving and eventually found an article from science.org saying, and I quote,
Science.org.
and that's how you know it's credible. First of all, it's science. I trust the science, and it's a .org. This is an organization. This is an organization devoted to science. Indisputable. Saying, and I quote, researchers at Michigan State University and the University of Maryland compiled a list of more than 900 fatal U.S. police shootings in 2015 using crowdsourced databases from the Washington Post and the Guardian. Then, they asked police departments for information about the race of the officers responsible for the shootings. They found black police were more likely to kill black civilians than white civilians. However, I'll just stop there. And to this, I asked the following. Why am I reading a study from 2015? Where are the experts in scientific racism? This is a field that is criminally understudied and underfunded. Okay, imagine this, right? This is the hypothetical utopian society where this sort of thing is properly funded. Your local university, they have a lab, right? They have a lab where they have grape soda and beakers. They're measuring various skull shapes, right? Testing the efficacy of various slurs while measuring the recipient's brain scans to see which are the most effective. This is the future that we could have if we dare to dream, my Grillers, if we dare to dream for a better future. And as a result of not having this, unfortunately, it's made racists and racism a field for the scientifically illiterate, for the stupid, for the dumb. That's why they all are, toothless hillbillies, popularly represented as such, because they're excluded from academia, and we all suffer as a result. We are in an intellectual, racist, dark age, and history will not look kindly upon us when they see what we've done.
I'll have to look into that. You really got me stumped as far as formulating thoughts here.
Well, look, you don't have to formulate thoughts because I just gave you the objectively correct opinion on scientific racism and its effects on society.
I will tell you this: when I first saw that video of these 5 black police officers just beating the ever-loving shit out of this guy, my initial analysis was that police departments are taking a very extreme response to their accusations of racism. And they said, well, let's mix it up a little bit here. You know what the problem is? The problem is they didn't go far enough. It should have been a white guy that they beat to death. And then okay, that would have helped a little bit more with public opinion. That's what they're not understanding here.
Right, they were so close and they just missed the mark.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, really. Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity indeed. If they had really gotten, a Tyler instead of a tire, we wouldn't be in this mess,
Jesus Christ.
And look, I watched that video too, and one of the cops like maced himself. Did you see that?
Yeah,
He pulls out the mace.
It was sloppy. It was bad. Frankly, it was bad police work. Just bad police work.
It was bad police work. I guess I've just not seen such sloppy police murder from white cops.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
they make it really convincing. They make it really convincing that they had to do it. You know, like we're gonna get to a point where like the white cop is like asking the person their pronouns before they shoot them. Like they're gonna be doing everything possible to look like the good guy.
I respect that I just shot you on indigenous land. They'll do a land acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And look, scientific racism could help, these officers in that field too. It really is a public failing that we're not funding this more. And yeah, that's about all the thoughts I have on this subject. I guess I just want to put out there too. You just listened to this segment. You thought, wow, I can't believe somebody would say things like this. How is this allowed? And it's really not. As soon as we get a crosshair on us, our YouTube channel's gone.
Yeah.
We're going to be put in a gulag. We're going to be killed, taken to a black site by the CIA. And if you want to continue hearing us, podcasting from this gulag black site, you got to go to the grillcast.gumroad.com and support us. Look, for as low as $5, you can get our bonus episodes, our based bonus episodes. We just released one of the greatest broadcasts of all time to our Chad supporters, to our based Grillisha. And you can join it too. An ever-growing movement. Look, everyone will love you. Everyone will respect you.
Have you ever had a bowel movement? And do you remember how satisfying that felt? Imagine you could be a part of an even greater movement, a bigger movement that feels far exceeds the joy that you experienced from that bowel movement.
So cogently put, my friend. So cogently put. There's no better feeling than joining the Grillisha. And failing that, just go ahead and follow us. If
you're too poor to support the show financially, you can also remember to follow us on Odyssey. And
follow us on Odyssey. Follow us on the audio podcast platform so you don't lose access to these based transmissions that we put out for you here. Now, I think we'll close out with our last segment today. The Costco Metropolis. Costco sees, the way our society is headed, the fact that we're not funding racist science labs. And they say, we're building a better future. We're taking what's happening now and we're making a utopia. We're making a palace of gold.
Yeah, well, just to put it into perspective, you imagine Costco, right? Like that's a place that you like to go, and you can get everything there, everything that you love. Now imagine a Costco, and you just slap an apartment complex on top of it. It's genius. It's absolutely genius. Everything that you could possibly need. Affordable housing, boom. Hot dogs, $1.50, boom. Room service, with the hot dogs, $1.50 with room service brought up to your room. Your affordable housing on top of the Costco. Costco membership as a means for security for your living space. You now have security based on people having to present a card, right? So you get all of these benefits and access to every amenity that you could possibly imagine at an affordable rate. And I think what Costco is doing now is they're setting up a model for the future, because we understand that in today's society, the rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high.
It is too damn high.
The interest rates are up the ass. People, can't afford homes because, the government's, they're not letting us build the homes, to make more people into proud landlords. And it's the unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in, where, we're coming to a place where, multinational corporations are having to provide these based centrist solutions for people.
And provide, they do.
Yeah. And soon, you're going to see, instead of playpens, instead of kids' corners and playpens at McDonald's, you're going to have condominiums put in on top of the restaurants. You're going to have duplexes on top of diners, and so on and so forth. And this is going to be the new way.
And look, there's places in urban areas that do this. You can, some shithole restaurant on the bottom, probably filled with roaches and rats. But Costco's built different. Costco is an upper middle class experience, and that's what they provide to their tenants. They're designing an 800 unit apartment. 800 units. You note all these perks. You note all these perks, and I just think to myself, wow, this is the free market once again providing for people in need.
Yeah.
I think I read that up to 20% of them are going to be Section 8 housing.
And that's good though. That's good. Those people can get jobs at the Costco, and then they won't need the Section 8 housing anymore. Because Costco is a great job. It pays. It's got decent benefits. You know.
Yeah, it's better than whatever they're doing now.
Yeah.
And even if they don't work there, they're going to fund Costco with their pizza and their hot dogs and they're going to contribute to the economy in a better way.
Add that on top of the benefits that I've already previously listed. Is you get to work from home. Isn't that what everybody wants nowadays?
It's all people talk about. Oh, they're making me come into the office arena. I can't wear no pants and get caught masturbating because I didn't turn off my webcam. No. That's all they talk about. And
at Costco, you can just go into the bathroom when you have a little bit of free time and masturbate all you want.
You can go up to your own apartment on your break.
Yeah.
Keep it in the bedroom.
Yeah.
That's what Costco is providing and offering. And furthermore on the Costco thing, I swear to God, there's this thing I've heard from about 10 million different people. Oh, dude, so they were going to raise the price of the hot dogs? And then the CEO of Costco said, if you raise the price of the hot dogs, I'm going to kill you? He said that in a board meeting to the heckin' board of directorinos, dude. He said, you're not raising the price of that hot dog.
Based.
Very based.
That's a very based.
It's really based is hearing it 10,000 fucking times as if it's a novel fact that literally not everybody has heard ad infinitum, whatever the fuck. Look, it haunts my mind. It haunts my dreams. I have dreams where I just think about this fucking CEO. You're not raising the price of the hot dog, bro. And who even gets a hot dog? Look, if you go to Costco and you're like, oh, I could get this huge giant pizza that's delicious for $10, or I could get this hot dog. I could get this hot dog. Yeah, I'm going for the hot dog, not the chicken bake.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the
not
other
getting
pervasive.
The chicken bake.
That's the pervasive lie. Who the fuck likes like a regular hot dog?
Nobody.
Who goes out of their way to buy a hot dog?
Hot dogs are what you give children.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say that's what you buy for your kids that you don't love. That's you cut it up and throw it into some Bush's baked beans and call it a fucking day.
Bro, hot dogs are for you're having the cookout, right? And you're inviting some families along, and you're like, "Ooh, this burger meat's pretty expensive because I don't skimp out. I don't get the cheap shit. I'm gonna feed my friends with the good stuff." But the kids don't get that. They don't deserve that. What are the kids bringing in 12-pack of beer to add into the cooler? No. So they get the fucking hot dog. It's peasant food, and I will be damned if I'm supposed to, applaud peasant food, cat food being given out for a good price. Am I supposed to applaud you, CEO? Okay, I do applaud the CEO of Costco because this apartment design is based. It's a great idea. It's going to really invigorate the economy. It's a free market, once again, providing for those in need. But on this particular issue, I will not budge.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. I mean, in all honesty, if they were going to do anything to the hot dog price, it should be to lower it.
Yeah.
But regardless.
Like, it's $1.50. We sold one of them this year. We're taking a real loss here. This is a real loss.
Do you really want the type of people that are gonna buy a hot dog patronizing your store, like coming into your Costco? Like, those people are disgusting.
I'm sure they revoke your membership if you get more than like 3.
Yeah.
At least they should. But we're running a little long here. Let's cap this show. My Grillas, we have covered a lot today. We have covered a lot, and I hope that this based educational program has helped you find some balance in your life, has informed you. I hope you come out of this with a bigger brain, rested a little bit after listening to this. When you exercise, rest is important. So get some nice sleep tonight. Take care of yourself. Have a beer or 10. And with that, peace out, my Grillas.
Bye-bye.
I'm old as a boomer. My mind said on Zoomer. Everything cooler long as I'm not Laura Loomer. If you think I'm not number one, I done spelled that rumor. Hit the victory royale on some motherfucking coochie. Default dance on a bitch. Hit the default dance
boss dance while I'm flossing in a whip. Victory royale when that chopper hit. Self-incrimination, I have no participation. News keep asking, I don't say shit. You can't have my conversation.